everybody's saying about most of the feedback is people saying burning the jersey is dumb. And Idobo had the perfect one where it's like, why? Like the player doesn't care if you burn the jersey. You spent the money, you wasted your money, and the player doesn't even care. Like that whole synopsis, what he just said is completely true. Like I said, like a jersey purchase is for you. No matter how, if you get the chance, the player sees you with the jersey and you get the autograph, he's signing that autograph. But on heart of hearts, 30 seconds after he walks down that hallway and goes back to where if he was doing, it doesn't matter. Like I feel like the all of somebody having your jersey is something a rookie would have. Like a rookie and then like a vet almost done. Those are the only two people that really cared you got his jersey. Is the rookie and the vet that's out. But anybody that's in year 5 to year 10 in their career, they don't really care if you got your jersey. Saying that, we're going to get back into the main topic. Like I said, I just like letting everybody know who commented that we know what y'all talking about online. But back on the main subject, because we were talking jerseys, and the reason this jersey conversation got up again is Kyrie Irving. And you know what even makes this a difference? And I'm still saying that it's stupid to burn your jersey, but Kyrie Irving was traded. Yes, he asked to be traded, but he was traded. He did not make the choice to go to Boston. He wanted to go someplace. Let's not act like he wanted to stay in Cleveland. But he was ready to go, and he didn't make the choice to go to Boston. Same thing with Isaiah Thomas. I haven't heard anything about people burning Isaiah Thomas jerseys, but I have a feeling that people in Boston are madder about Isaiah Thomas leaving and Kyrie leaving Cleveland just because Isaiah Thomas was part of Boston. Like people in Boston, no matter how we feel about what they really feel about us, they roll with Isaiah Thomas. They roll with the little man. They like always having that underdog story, even though Boston's one of the top 5 biggest cities in this country. They always like to roll with the underdog. And people in Boston just have to understand, bro. He was your best player. In the NBA, your best player cannot be 5'9". This can't happen. We don't got no more Spud Webbs. Sorry.
Space Jam, they got that Space Jam.
No, not even Space Jam. Like Mike.
Like Mike.
Yeah, he's out here like Bow Wow size, trying to be the best player on the team, and it just doesn't work. Now he could be the 2nd or 3rd best player on the Cavaliers with LeBron James and Kevin Love. He's probably the 2nd best player. I'm not going to shade him on that. Kevin Love has been. Come on, Kevin Love has not played good.
I'm not saying no. I was about to say like no, don't go ahead and give him that much credit. Kevin Love, he'll make us some plays.
He'll get some rebounds.
Yeah.
But so yeah, no, he's being the 2nd best player with LeBron, who is a physical freak. I bet it's going to look really cool seeing Isaiah Thomas not have to be the best player on the team this year, in my eyes. On the flip, hey, man, Kyrie, you wanted to be the man. You wanted to be by yourself. You got it.
You got it, yeah.
You got it. You know what kills me about this want to be by yourself thing with Kyrie? 2 things. Kobe Bryant, your mentor. Do you remember how bad the couple years before Pau Gasol and Metta World Peace and all them came to the Lakers between Shaq leaving and Pau Gasol coming? They missed the playoffs. Kobe asked to be traded. Remember when Kobe quit in the playoffs that one year? Where he just stopped trying? He wasn't even like shooting. It was like a conference. It was not conference finals, the semifinals. Forget what team he was playing against. But Kobe quit. Kobe is my favorite all-time NBA player because I watched him. I respect Michael was the best all time, but I did not see a lot of Michael. But saying this, I watched Kobe Bryant quit, and it was kind of salty. Like I can't respect when he did that, but he did it. Like it was a rough time, Kyrie. And then your current example, look at Melo. You see the life Melo lives in New York. Since he's gone to New York, things have gone downhill. He's not really been the same person as he used to. He's gone to divorce. Like doing all this stuff by yourself will strain your life. And now in New York, he has Porzingis. And now Porzingis wants to leave. So think about that. Being alone is not going to be the greatest thing in the world. And then there's nobody left in. Who's the best player on Boston now? The white dude that broke Kevin Love's arm a couple years ago?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and the backup point guard. I fuck with Marcus Smart. I do fuck with Marcus Smart. But yeah, this is not a you go have fun, man. I still think they're a contender. Like they're still gonna make the playoffs. Boston's still way better than a lot of teams in the East. But no, like I said, Kyrie, you have fun with this, man. The one thing you got is you got your one title. The NBA, the thing is in the NBA, it's different than the NFL. In the NBA and NFL, we really judge people on championships, especially quarterbacks. In the NBA, you're either going after the GOAT or you're just trying to get these stats up. Like, so, I mean, somebody can disagree with me, but like you're either going to pass Jordan in championships or you're coming out here to go get a stat in certain stat categories for historical tells. But nobody's really out here for the
ring.
Like again, everybody wants a ring, but like we don't care about the guys that got 3. You know what I mean? Like you could get 3 rings in the NBA and it'd still be cool, but unless you out here with that 7, or I think 5 is the threshold. Like I think if you get 5, then we look at you a little differently.
Even
but like
you're a bench warmer?
Yeah, well, all right. I'm going to compare this player, but he was not a bench warmer. The person I can think of the most is Derek Fisher. He was the point guard for the Lakers for every championship for Kobe.
But he wasn't that big.
And he wasn't that big of a deal. Like he was a good point guard, and he almost got another championship the one year Oklahoma City went to the playoffs. He was on Oklahoma City when they lost to the Heat. But no, that's how I look at that. Like Derek Fisher has 5 NBA championships. Derek Fisher was a okay point guard through his NBA career. I think he was like the literal idea of a floor general, not the talented floor general, but he kept everything together. I feel like he was the one person that he could go up to talk to Kobe, where not a lot of people on those Lakers team could ever talk to Kobe and try to get in the Kobe's head. Like I think Derek Fisher was able to talk to Kobe in those times. I don't know why else he was there for the entire lineage of Kobe Bryant with the Lakers.
Maybe just like playing with him.
Maybe. That's like a loose thing to say. Like I don't know a lot of people that like playing with Kobe.
I mean, like he's like, Kobe's good. I can guarantee this, guarantee a ring.
A certain lifestyle. I get it. I definitely get it.
I mean, you could play him as captain, whatever. How about?
Also, I want to give an update from Bricks from sunny Hawaii. He was out Hawaii. He's out on his vacation. He came in and he messaged in and said that he thinks the big part of this trade is the draft pick. He thinks that Cleveland got over on the Boston Celtics because they got the draft pick. They got 3 players: Isaiah Thomas. They got Crawford, or Jay Crawford. My bad, Jay Crawford. And I always forget the European dude's name. Like I've read it 4 times and I just can't remember his name. And the draft pick, the Brooklyn Nets draft pick, the same draft pick that ended up being the number 1 draft pick in this year's draft. Now they ended up trading it to the 76ers and all this a little later, but it was the first pick in the draft. Think about this. One of the top teams in the NBA might get the first pick in the draft next year.
If they suck again.
Or they're going to suck again because LeBron James is leaving after this year. But to me, this is the setup, though. Like they got Isaiah Thomas, they got Crawford, and they might get one of the top 3 prospects in the NBA next year. Now, I was reading before we started the show today. Some people think that the Brooklyn Nets might actually get better.
So that would change the draft pick then at that point.
There's a chance that the draft pick will get higher.
Yeah, then looking at not really the best. No,
the NBA is probably the worst draft out of all the major sports because after the first 7 or 8 picks, the players get the talent changes. The talent changes after the first couple picks. At least in the NFL, you'll still find somebody to become a superstar in the 3rd or 4th round. I'm not saying the superstars aren't found in the 2nd round of the NBA draft, but there's only one Draymond Green every couple of years. And that's literally that's the biggest example I could think of is Draymond Green. But yeah, that's how I look at this. No, the NBA draft, that's why I never watched the NBA draft. I would rather watch the lottery process where they select the teams that are going to be in what order. And maybe I'll watch the first 3 or 4 picks of the NBA draft. But no, I'm not interested in the NBA draft. I'm barely interested in any other draft. I don't even watch NHL or baseball drafts. I just have a feeling that the players are worth more the deeper the draft goes compared to the NBA. And I watched the NFL draft, but at this point I'm watching the NFL draft because in the last couple of years, there's been some crazy controversy with people getting busted for drugs or something the day of the draft, or people who are supposed to get drafted in the 1st round and we get to watch them in the green room for 3 hours. Just I'm cynical like that. Because I don't understand how the NFL draft works sometimes when it's oh yeah, you're supposed to get drafted in the 1st round. Come sit at the draft and cry while you miss the 1st and 2nd and 3rd round and you get drafted in the 4th round. That's what happened to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Even though I think he was still drafted in the 1st round, he was supposed to get drafted early, and he kept on falling and falling, and they just kept on going back to Aaron Rodgers, looking all sad, well, am I ever going to get picked? So, this whole drafting is weird for me. But no, like I said, the draft pick for the Brooklyn Nets is going to be a big deal, and
depending on their season,
and just on where we look at this trade in the future. Because at this point, as long as Kyrie Irving has a decent year and has as much as control as he wants, I can see him re-signing with Boston pretty quickly. I don't know.
How many?
He has 2 years left on his current contract.
So 2 years. 2 years for these trades, and how many years we got on Isaiah?
Isaiah's contract is up at the end of this year.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about the other 2 guys.
Will Isaiah stay is the question.
I think well,
if LeBron leaves, would you say now all we have left is Kevin Love if Kevin Love stays?
Oh, Kevin Love's gone. There ain't no reason.
So
to keep
Kevin Love's
Love.
gone too. So Isaiah Thomas.
The difference is they would get rid of Kevin Love by choice. There's a difference. It's LeBron's leaving. They would trade Kevin Love.
Yeah. So you only have.
I'm actually really shocked Kevin Love wasn't part of this trade. I feel feeling like they've been trying to get rid of Kevin Love for a while.
I feel like LeBron was like, no.
I need somebody.
Let me keep Kevin.
So yeah, no, like I don't see Kevin Love's career with the Cavaliers. I mean, no, I take that back. There has been some people saying that Kevin Love will be the main point of the team since everybody else is gone, and I'm like, dude, no. Because before Kevin Love came to the Cavaliers, he was the best player on a team that never made the playoffs. What do y'all think about to happen in Cleveland? He's probably going to be the best player on the team that doesn't make the playoffs, especially if Isaiah Thomas doesn't come back. Again, this whole trade is based on the idea that two teams were put in a corner. The Boston Celtics probably couldn't have paid Isaiah Thomas next year the money he deserves. Because, again, you can't be paying 5'9" people half your salary. On top of that, Kyrie Erving wanted out of the Cavaliers, and we know LeBron James is leaving. Mm-hmm. So both teams, think about that. How much have you ever seen this type of turnover for the top two teams in the Eastern Conference or in a conference?
I'm surprised that they even would do something like that. I mean, that's a big deal.
Oh, no, I'm really shocked. Again, I compare this to the Boston Yankees trade for Babe Ruth. And I'm not saying that any player on these teams or the spectacle that was Babe Ruth, but that's like the only comparison I have. Like, Boston and Cleveland are not rivals in the traditional sense, but you were the Eastern Conference champion and the runner-up, or the 1 and 2 seeds, respectively. I'm really shocked that y'all be willing to make this trade because one of y'all teams is going to find out that y'all got the worst end of this trade eventually.
Yeah.
I'm in the book, and I know this ain't true, but I'm in the small-minded idea that somebody wins a trade and somebody loses a trade. Now, not every time that happens is it plainly seen, but when you trade a draft pick, it makes it even more of a waiting game where you're going to have to wait and see if the draft pick maybe the Cavaliers get a bust and the draft pick was worth nothing. Because the Cavaliers have been historic with fucking up draft picks ever since Kyrie. They drafted the one dude from Canada like first overall, and that dude's not in the NBA anymore. So like the Cavaliers are not good with drafting. Point blank period.
I think it could. Like I think right now it looks like it's Cavaliers, but I think maybe next year or the year after it could be like Celtics kind of got a W on that one. Because everybody might leave after this year. Like
oh no, again, the Cavaliers are rebuilding. They're in the Cavaliers are doing this weird thing where they're trying to rebuild and win a championship at the same time. Because they got 1 year left. I think everybody in Cleveland knows this is the last chance for a title, and that we got another 60 years to wait.
Only person I think like only one like any type of team doing that was like I guess Denver, just trying to work around like just a super team, and then that was it. Like
oh yeah, the Peyton Manning thing. Yeah,
Peyton Manning coming in. Yeah, they rebuilt and they got a Super Bowl.
The thing is, they got that Super Bowl when Peyton Manning was like the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
But excuse me, but yeah, you're completely right. Denver did it. Who else is? I actually consider the Steelers kind of doing it now. With Ben. Again, I'm telling you, I think when Ben is gone, this team is going to go really south. We already see it when Ben's hurt and Antonio Brown gets 6 catches for like 12 yards.
Yeah, but it's good for PPR.
Shout out to the eventual GM Worldwide Radio Fantasy Football League coming soon with that one. Also, it's not going to be PPR, so I won't have to worry about that.
No PPR.
For people who doesn't know the rhetoric, PPR in fantasy leagues means point per reception. So, but yeah, no. But yeah, you're right about that. If you're playing fantasy football, getting 6 catches and 12 yards is
7 points.
Yeah, 7 points. It's still not a good game for Antonio Brown.
No.
But yeah, that's what happens when Ben's not in a game. And
I don't want Landry playing. I want somebody real playing. Colin Kaepernick, come on out. Come on, you can come to Pittsburgh. You're loud. I want you. I don't want Mike Lennon. You got. We won't do you dirty. You're gonna be the backup. I don't want to play Bortles. He could stay the backup down there.
Oh no.
We need somebody here.
I don't think Nick Foles has a job right now either.
I guess he's. I can take him.
Hey, I'm just saying, like I have this thing with the idea that these teams are going to fall apart really soon.
Yeah, I don't know why they like Ben's been around for quite a while. Like there should have been talks like How long were they thinking they're riding him? Like, how long do you think they were like, we were going to rebuild him at one point with new technology? Like,
true. I mean, but they're out here drafting quarterbacks like every other year.
Yeah, but they're always a bust. It's always like I never heard.
I heard of Landry Jones before they drafted Landry Jones. Oh. I mean, they're usually like these SEC quarterbacks, which SEC quarterbacks never really pan out that well. I think Matthew Stafford's the best SEC quarterback we have in the NFL right now, and he played at Georgia.
Matthew Stafford isn't that good. He throws a lot. He just throws the ball. That's all he does.
He's gonna be the next Phillip Rivers because he's gonna have his stats are gonna be crazy when it's over.
Yeah, he's gonna have probably more yards than Phillip. Maybe if he keeps this up.
Speaking of that, did you have some news on Phillip Rivers today?
We'll just go start with the Chargers. So
LA Chargers
and LA Rams. City of LA now owns two teams, but they've been having the Rams in there for 1 year. Now, ever since Chargers announced it like early this spring, they pretty much like people on the street, like the team and like the whole, like they're trying to get out where, fight for LA, like type deal where they want the Chargers to be the team of LA. And like, so the LA stadium that they're going to be using is actually built and paid by the Rams owner.
Oh yeah, they're going to be renting out our stadium. They're going to rent the player on our stadium.
So they're trying to, number one, take the player, like take people, the civilians of LA as their new I guess viewers, and then they're having a stadium built by like the Rams, and then now they had a few joint practices and things were getting heated up in there, and like they were like some of the players are actually even on this on board for like fighting for LA. I mean, like, do you feel like there's enough fans out here like that care about this? Or
two things. I'm going to say the least important part first. The Rams were the first team to ever move to LA, so I feel like they have
before even Oakland.
They were the first team in any professional sport to move to LA.
Okay.
Then they moved back in like '92 or something to St. Louis, but they were the very first team, so I think they had a little better in. Secondly, to not throw shade on both the Rams and the Chargers, the team of LA is the Oakland Raiders. That is the number one team in California. It doesn't matter if you're in Oakland, San Diego, or in LA. Even when they moved to Vegas in 2 years, the number one team in California is the Oakland Raiders. You know what amazes me about that? The 49ers have 5 Super Bowls. They don't care. The Chargers probably had the best quarterback with Phillip Rivers. They don't care. And I can't really fight for the Rams because the Rams have only been back 1 year. But no, the Oakland Raiders are LA's team. They are San Diego's team. They are Oakland's team. And they were soon to be Las Vegas' team. But believe me not, when Oakland goes to play in that 27,000 seat stadium that the Chargers are playing in for 3 years, all you're going to see is black and silver.
Yeah.
That's in the past when they used to play in San Diego, they used to have to curb ticket sales because there would be too many Raiders fans at their games.
They're just going to watch football.
I'm just saying, like, they can fight over LA all they want. It's a losing fight to the Raiders.
Oh yeah.
It's the thing that people don't understand. Whenever they were about to have all the teams move to LA, when it was Rams, Chargers, and Raiders trying to fight to see who can move to LA, the NFL for sure never wanted Oakland to move back to LA.
Why not?
Because they have this weird thing with the gangs of the city repping the team and stuff like that. So it's a weird dynamic that they think minorities draw to the Raiders, which they do. The Raiders have neutral colors. Black and silver is a neutral color to the communities of Latinos and blacks. So I understand that. But no, the team of the California is Oakland. Just like no matter how good the Clippers are, the basketball team in LA is the Lakers. I don't give a fuck about what the Clippers do. Like unless they come out here and win 3 in a row, and I said 3.
3.
Yeah, they need 3. Yeah, they need 3.
Not 2 in a row.
Nope, 3. The Lakers are always going to be the best to be the team in LA, and that's how I feel about Oakland. Oakland is the team of California. That's just how it is. If you look at Pittsburgh, we love the Penguins, we love the Pirates. The Steelers are the team of Pittsburgh. But there's just some understanding of how this rolls, and that's the thing about the Chargers and the Rams. One of these teams got to go out and win something. Even my team, like the Rams are my squad. If you want LA to respect you, LA only respects winners. LA and New York only respect winners. If you ain't winning, they're not watching you.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
And y'all might think that's fair weather, but y'all wanted to put 2 teams in a city that hadn't had an NFL team in 20 years. This is what y'all gonna get.
I don't know why they would even allow. Like, one team's goal, 2, and they're gonna share the same stadium.
Like, I mean, they do that in New York or New Jersey. Let me.
But I mean, like, they had the option of, like possibly like maybe going somewhere else or something. Like
with the Chargers, no, they're gonna pay for that stadium. Why would the Chargers aren't? No, because
no, the Rams is paying for the stadium.
No, but I'm saying the Chargers are never gonna build their own stadium.
I think somebody out there will build a stadium.
No, because there's no reason to. Why would you want to waste all your money to build a stadium? The Rams are going to have the best stadium in the NFL, if not top 2 best stadiums in the NFL when it's finished. The Chargers were going to build a stadium that was just going to be a football stadium, like an average football stadium. Mm-hmm. They're not going to do that now. The reason I can say that is because the Jets never did it. The Jets are technically renting to play in the Giants stadium. Oh. It's the same thing. Like the Jets pay to play in a stadium that's technically the Giants stadium.
Well, then I guess.
Or even here, it's more of a partnership, but the partnership between the University of Pittsburgh and the Steelers.
That's a partnership, yeah. Like I mean, like they could probably put something up somewhere. They have a little bit of land up on the hill.
I know. The only way I believe Pitt will ever build another stadium is if the new stadium after Heinz Field, what I'm saying about 13 years away, is built somewhere where it's not close enough to the university.
So like you're saying, like Cranberry or going out the moon, like over by the airport or something.
Yeah. Like it's like I would. That's
what
my.
About Monroeville, what if they point out there?
I don't think Monroeville would ever agree to something like that.
What if they got rid of? What if they wiped out Century 3 Mall?
That was like something.
And then put a stadium there.
No, we were talking about that as an idea. That's still too far away from Oakland.
Yeah. They always were talking about doing a section for 43. I think it's supposed to be built 43 to hook over to 376 over in Oakland.
Oh yeah, they're talking about that.
But this hasn't been like done.
Well, no, because that's why I call it the abandoned highway, man. I love riding on that highway just to go off and go because there's nobody ever on it. It's a fucking toll road with nobody ever on it.
You pay like $1, and you can go all the way down to like California. You can even go. You can make all the way down to Morgantown, I think.
Yeah, you can. I think the road goes up for. I know you can go down to the state line. But no, yeah, that's my biggest thing about Pitt is the only way Pitt will ever build a stadium, and I think they need to. I wish I could have went to the old Pitt Stadium. I've seen pictures of it. It looks cool. Just how it's built onto this hillside. Like some of it seems like it's in the hillside, and some of it isn't. So no, like I think Pitt. I believe that the campus atmosphere of a college stadium is better than the NFL atmosphere of a college stadium. That's just my idea. But no,
I think it'd be real cool if it was right over by 380. Bigelow Boulevard, looking down over the hill, like from watching, like right over there, you see the river.
You talking about like on the Hill District, or like on?
I think it's considered the Hill, yeah.
It's either Polish Hill or the Hill District.
Could be Polish Hill. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like just looking down at the river would be pretty legit. I mean, that'd be a cool stadium. But.
Yeah, I mean that's how they have it for the Duquesne Stadium on the Bluff. There's like no seats up there, but it's like 7,000 seat stadium or something. But like they have that stadium that you could like if you're up there, you can see over to the south side from the stadium.
South side, yeah.
So no, I understand that. I'm not like I said. This is 12, 13 years away. It's just that the topic has been coming up a lot because Heinz Field's going into like the top 10 worst stadiums in the NFL.
How old is Lambeau Field?
Lambeau Field's almost like 80-something years old, but they renovated like the Lambeau Field that's Lambeau Field today, even though it's never been demolished to the ground and rebuilt. It's not the same stadium that was there when they first opened the stadium.
Well, I feel like they probably got some like new bleachers and whatnot.
Yeah, bleachers, soundboards, all that stuff.
I mean, like, do you think they would renovate us, or do you think
they just put in that new? They put in the new scoreboard. They're putting in the Ring of Honor this year. They're gonna make minor renovations, but I think when it gets to 20 years, they're gonna stop doing that. We're at 17 now, so I think the final.
Why 20? What's the 20?
Because I think the Steelers are gonna try to push the city into building on the stadium. Why keep on putting your own money to upgrade a stadium that you're gonna ask for a new one? It's business. It's shady business, but it's business.
No, we're not doing that. Pittsburgh don't agree with it. Don't agree with it. Just keep on, go ahead, just get fixed for another couple more years. I feel like we can spend money elsewhere.
My issue is people don't understand because people think this is just a city issue. It's a split thing with the city when they do stuff like this, where the city pays a certain amount and the county pays a certain amount. So
I'm paying too.
Yeah, I feel like people forget about that. The county puts in on these stadiums.
Then I'll say no to that ballot or whatever. option.
And I'm telling you, because I only know this because it just happened down in Atlanta, they will leave the county. Now, they will still be called the Pittsburgh Steelers, but if you are an Atlanta Braves fan, and I hope there's somebody out here listening as an Atlanta Braves fan, let people know that your team does not play in Atlanta no more. They play in DeKalb County, Georgia. Get ready. And the same thing with Dallas. Again, get ready for that. If the city fights that hard, we're going to be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers playing in Westmoreland County, New Kensington. That's what they do. Like, same thing with San Francisco 49ers playing Santa Clara, California. That's about 40 minutes away. They play further away from San Francisco than Oakland does.
Damn.
Both of the New York teams play in New Jersey. Like, I have lots of this. The Buffalo Bills don't play in Buffalo.
Where did they play? Wait, no. I thought they at least played.
They play at Orchard Park, New York. Again, a lot of the NFL teams do not play within the city limits of their city. The Steelers are one of the few teams that do that. The Steelers, Green Bay, Chicago, Cleveland, these are the teams that I know play in the downtown of their cities. I think the Colts.
Doesn't Dallas?
No, Dallas plays in Arlington, Texas.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of teams that do this. Jacksonville plays in their city, but Jacksonville City is very small. So
I think Tampa Bay does theirs.
I think they play in St. Petersburg.
Oh.
But that's one of those cities that's like a twin city situation.
Yeah.
Which, like, I can kind of get, like, you can see Tampa Bay from the stadium.
Okay.
Where in all the other instances, you won't see the city anywhere near the stadium. Even like I said, right now, the Chargers, even though they will play in Inglewood, which is technically a downtown suburb of LA, right now the Chargers play in Orange County, California. But there are a lot of teams out here in the NFL that do not play in these cities. And think about it, man. Like, again, I went out to a concert out in Burgerstown. That's like a 2-hour drive. Do you want to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours driving to a Steeler game? Just think about it.
Take that trolley and that's it. I want to take that trolley down and that's it.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. They ain't gonna build no trolley to wherever. Well, they might build one in Cranberry, but they ain't gonna build it anywhere else they put that stadium.
Never know.
On other news, John Bones Jones has been stripped of his UFC championship today. It will be. I'm assuming he's gonna be put up back into an interim role like it was before. He failed a test for UFC 214 against his fight against Daniel Cromer for PEDs. I am done with John Bones Jones. Just gonna put that out there. I cannot rock with you. I actually think Dana White should suspend you for life. You fucking up.
Is there an asterisk or something on the fight?
No, there has to be an asterisk on his career.
On the career?
This is the second time he's failed for PEDs and the third time in general because I think he fell for cocaine once too.
That doesn't like that's different.
It's still illegal.
It's still no, that is illegal. But I'm saying like that didn't change your fighting skills.
I asked Scarface that. Cocaine is the one drug that actually might be able to help you in fights.
I was waiting. I had to think about that. I was like, maybe, you know what? Cocaine might actually.
Now, like I said, if it was weed or like heroin, then I'm like, you need to go get him help. Yeah. But cocaine, it's not a PED. But if you snort a line of coke before you go into a fight, I'm telling you, you're probably going to be a little bit better for that fight than the dude that didn't snort a line of coke before the fight. But again, like to me, it's the fact that you're a habitual line stepper. Got that from Dave Chappelle. Shout out. But yeah, you are a habitual line stepper. And again, you know what I do? I have already said it. The only sport I think that steroids should be fully allowed is baseball. I said that yesterday. But if he's going to be on steroids and he wants to fight Brock Lesnar, let him and Brock Lesnar steroid up. The boys. I want to see these boys out here looking like fucking like those pit bulls with the knuckles like for their fists and shit or for their paws and shit. I'm ready for that. Like if y'all want to both be out here juicing, go ahead and juice up as big as y'all can. Get y'all penises as small as possible and go kill each other. I am down for that.
I'd pay for that though.
I'd pay for a steroid fight.
I would pay for it. That's acceptable steroid.
But I also need y'all to like sign waivers because I think one of y'all probably going to die.
Everyone signs. I think like Argentina, you can like fight to somebody to death as long as you're like I think a blood donor or something or an organ donor.
We have to look that up on our next break because that's a wild one right there. You could beat somebody to death.
It's a duel. It's a duel as long as it's like a.
You know, that's something we're gonna have to look up too. Where is it legal in the world to still do duels? Like just like respect. 12 paces, shoot, or fist fights or sword duels. Like I just want to know if there's out here people still out here dueling for their problems.
I mean, sometimes you have to.
But no, like I said, John Bones Jones is probably this is the issue. The reason I don't trust boxing is because of faulty scorecards. I just don't think that boxing is scored properly. With UFC, it's not the scorecards, even though some people think their scorecard system is fucked too. No. It's the fact that we don't know if any of these fights are real. Like not WWE fake, but like every couple months it's like, oh, well, you watch this fight, but that guy just got busted for PEDs. You got Cyborg out here fighting now, and that girl's been a PED lifestyle. So the UFC to me, before I thought McGregor losing to Mayweather wasn't going to change anything, but the UFC might need Mayweather to win. I mean, they might need McGregor to win if they want to save their reputation.
I can see that. Oh, McGregor, I think he's a straight edge. I mean, he does party, but I think he's just drinking. I mean,
are you just saying that because he's Irish?
I mean, yes, that's why I'm exactly saying that. He's probably drinking Guinness. You know, come on, he's Irish. This is what Irish people do.
That is the most prejudiced thing I've ever heard.
I'm like a quarter Irish, you know. I feel the need for some Guinness every once in a while.
And Damian Marley drinks Red Stripe.
Red Stripe?
Yeah. It's just some nasty Jamaican beer.
I think I've had that before.
But no, like, I mean, like I said, I've never looked at Conor as somebody who's been like out here partying or going to strip clubs like our man Floyd. But no, like I said, I just think I think Bones Jones needs to be permanently suspended from the UFC. Let him go fight in Bellator. But I don't think he needs to be let back into the UFC. I think he's definitely just did a lot of damage to the heavyweight division over in UFC. So, or the light heavyweight division. I'm sorry, the light heavyweight division. But no, there's no reason for Bones Jones to be out here anymore. No. He can get somebody hurt. He's out here fucking with people's lives. Like I said, he gave Daniel Cromer a concussion when he knocked him out. Was that punch like a steroided up punch? Did he get that Popeye juice flowing real quick and give him the 1-2? Like, I need to know this now. Because before we were all laughing at Daniel Cromer because he was crying on TV because he lost a UFC fight. Now we don't know if he should have lost at all. Like, can Jones beat him straight up? I'm curious now.
No, would that ever going to happen?
It's never going to happen. No, because he's fought Jones twice, and each time they figured out he was juicing.
His career's done.
Yeah.
He should, yeah. I wouldn't, if there was if there was maybe MMA with steroids, like that was like some type of thing, like, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, that's something you have to do outside the country.
Yeah, that'll be outside the country.
They're going to make it legal to duel in Canada. So this is like June 6th, like 2017. Like they're changing criminal laws and challenging someone to a duel. It will soon be allowed.
Shout out to the brothers up north. We always think Canada's peaceful. Canada is going to be out here dueling. I need the TV show. I need that. I need it to be like a sports show, which like I know you're going to be like, oh yeah, I've been following this dude for 3 duels, yeah, and then duel 4, it's over. Like
it's already. I've been watching this guy since last week, and he's already dead next week.
Do we have any reason on why they're trying to get duels back in Canada? I would love to know why that was something that somebody put on their docket or whatever they put up in Canada for like laws to be changed.
Let's get this back.
I wouldn't be shocked that there's a law like still in place in Texas, like one of those weird laws they never changed. Where I can imagine that dueling in Texas still goes on.
There's no reason behind it. It's just like they want to upgrade their criminal laws, so some things they're just like dropping, and that is kind of like provoking someone to a fight that's illegal. And for some reason, they're like,
if you want a gentleman's fisticuffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You want to throw it down?
Shout out to Canada because this is the 2nd year in a row. Because I know Canada legalized prostitution like a year ago.
Did they really?
Well, it's legalized to the point where like they want it to be able to be like a safe, just to help with the sexual transmission of diseases and shit. But yeah, they legalized prostitution about a year ago.
I think the first duel should be Drake versus Bieber.
Yo, that's allowed.
I think that would bring going back.
Oh,
yes, one pop star.
One pop star? Will they first sing it out and then fight it out?
And then the winner is Playboy. Let's go. I think that should be the
I feel like that's all gonna happen, and the Weeknd's is gonna slide in and kill both of them.
Yo, is he even Canadian?
Yeah, Weeknd's from Toronto too. There's a lot of big artists out from Toronto right now. Toronto's running pop music. Let me clearly state that. I think Toronto runs pop music right now. So
Don't.
Oh yeah, like I said, this duel thing, like now I got to think about making a trip to Canada.
For what?
I want to see one of these duels. Like that's what I want to do. Like I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be like battle rap in a minute. There will be a dual league.
A dual league.
Yes, dual league, Canadian dual league.
There's a lot of members, but half
the CDL. It's gonna be called the CDL, Canadian dual league, the CDL. There's no more commercial driver's license. It's the CDL, the Canadian Dual League. I'm on that. I need to get that copyright up.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, I can't. Like I said, I agree with it. I also need to see what the specifications of this duel is. Is this like a duel to somebody gets knocked down, or are we talking like dead?
Duel to death.
Okay.
No, it has to be double accept. Like you have to accept it.
Yeah, you can't just run off.
Yeah, that's straight murder.
You have to lay down the walls of which I want to go with, fists, guns, whatever, and just go.
What happened to, like, we used to think all Canada was no war, maple syrup, and leaves. And moose.
That should be their bumper sticker. I mean, they're like you know how the license plate, like Canada, duel it out.
Duel it out. That's it. That's the slogan. Duel it out.
Duel it out.
Shout out to Malachi for that one, man, because I'm so happy to hear that Canada's out here dueling. Like, I don't got to go across the world to see this. I just got to go up to Niagara Falls. Try to get
that'd be the best fight match right there.
No, that'd be the one place you can't duel. There can't be no duels at Niagara Falls. Fuck it up for everybody.
Battle to the death, pushed off.
Hey, mate, like I said, but back to the John Bones Jones. Either have him fight Brock Lesnar or Juice, or ban him from UFC. That's the only two ways I got about this. I know that's like really unreasonable, and it's really unrealistic on the first half of this. But it's either give me the most Juice fight of all time. Where like
at the same weight, it has to be the same heavyweight.
I don't know. Brock Lesnar will never be able to get down to John Jones' weight. Like Brock Lesnar, technically, if it was boxing, would be a super heavyweight.
It'd be super. Where's the heavyweight max weight?
We'll find that out in the next break. But because it's different for UFC and boxing. Boxing itself has more weight classes than UFC.
Okay.
UFC ends at heavyweight,
so
you can be. I forget what the weight is, but after the lowest weight for heavyweight, you can go as high as you want to be. So. Man. Well, in boxing, there is a heavyweight and then a super heavyweight division. Mm-hmm. So there is a difference there. But no, like Bones Jones wasn't in the same weight class as Brock Lesnar to begin with. He just wanted to fight Brock Lesnar. Now I know why. Like I said, I was over here defending Jones back after the fight, talking about, hey, you probably shouldn't want to fight the dude that's out here juicing on purpose. Like that was my whole thing. Like, yo, don't go out here to go fight the dude that's out here juicing. You're gonna get yourself killed. Now I know you juicing too. Go ahead. Go ahead. Why am I defending you, man? You know you got this. Now I know why you got this, because you knew what you was getting yourself into. You knew that you wanted to fight the one other dude that was out here juicing as hard as you. Have fun. One of y'all gonna burst a blood vessel on this bitch, but go ahead, have fun. That's my thing, man. Like the cost to be the boss to me, it's like you already are a physically fit person. You already are skinny. You have muscles. What the fuck? It's the difference between like skinny Barry Bonds and big Barry Bonds. Like there was definitely something to be gained. Like you can tell the difference between Barry Bonds before steroids and after steroids. There was a definite transition that might have been worth it in his eyes, even though I believe the skinny Barry Bonds was still going to the Hall of Fame. But there was a difference. Somebody gonna have to show me the pictures where Bones Jones was just the average fighter and then the juice fighter. Like, and if you don't get that real look difference, and I don't see what the point was. Like we know Barry Bonds changed. Like Barry Bonds changed like Michael Jackson changed colors. Like that was a significant body change. I don't see that in Jones. So I'm like, what are you doing? Like, does this make you faster? Like, I need to know what you think juicing at your level of performance was going to do. Because you were considered the best person in your weight class before this. Same thing with Brock Lesnar. But like, again, Brock Lesnar was on the WWE program, so they might be telling him to use steroids. We don't know. But yeah, like I said, Bones Jones, get your life straight, man. Figure out what you want to do. Both of your brothers are doing good in the NFL, and they're not in this type of trouble. I know it's not fair to compare you to your brothers, but y'all all are public figures in some way, shape, or form. Both of your brothers play defense, so they're not as big of players in the NFL starlight, but you all have public personas and have to be presented in the public. And your brothers seem not to be having this type of problem. I do know your one brother got arrested like a year ago for running into a police station high on synthetic weed. So I know that happened.
Me too.
So he freaked out on synthetic weed, but he's not done anything since then. And that's one time. I give everybody one time. As long as it's not like a sexual crime, I give everybody one time. You got a sexual crime, they got to figure that out on your own. I can't even defend you. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. But, we've been on for a little while. We're going to wrap this segment up. We'll be back on GM Worldwide Radio for the Unfiltered. I am Jay Skyline. Your boy James is here with me. We're going to see if I can get a couple more updates from the boy Bricks on his vacation, see if I can get some more updates on him, because I know he's hated about these trades. So we'll be right back on GMWorldWideRadio.com.